Welcome to the November 2014 technique class using the Festival of Trees stamp set. This is one of the cards that we made at the class and one of the cards that you'll receive for the pack to make at home. Now I've tried to use all the different trees in the 3 different cards, so if you don't like this tree, I'm not that keen on it if I'm honest. I think I would prefer, that was my favourite one and that one, but you could choose a different style of tree. So if you're not going to do the same one as I do, you could choose to use the tinsel as a decoration, or the baubles, which we're going to use on this design, or no baubles and add different decorations. Sorry, what's Pip barking at? What time is it? My daughter could be coming home any minute now. Oh, someone putting something through the front door. Sorry. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your card pack. As always, the cardstock you need for the front of the card is on the front, and the cardstock you need for the inside is on the inside. So I'm just going to remove the front pieces for now. So we've got a white piece and glimmer piece. Now one of the ladies said to me today, what I've done is I've actually punched out on this Island Indigo card. So push it all the way into the bottom of your punch, it won't go down any further. Excuse me. And then just have a little lip sticking out there, pop it through, and then you should have a nice even border here. Now one of the ladies at the class said, why on earth did you do that and make it super fancy when you could have just punched out a circle and laid it on the front? So if you'd rather punch out a circle and lay it on the front, you'll then end up with the offcuts, which you can use for stars or whatever you want to do. So I'll let you choose what you want to do. Now a little tip with the glimmer paper, the glimmer paper does not want to stick very easily with wet glue. So if you use Tombow or something like that, you will find that the glimmer paper doesn't want to stick to it. So I'm going to give a good coverage of this fast fuse from Stampin' Up all the way around the circle like that, and then just make sure that I haven't got any of the glimmer paper protruding outside the edges. So I'm going to lay that down like that. And then what I'm going to do, I might as well at this point stick that on my card front, just because I've got a little bit of extra sticky on there and I don't want to leave it on the grid paper and end up sticking it to something I don't want it to stick to. So okay, so I'm just going to stick this on my card front. I've got a great big tripod in my way here, so excuse me if I don't stick it centrally. The inner is just layered up and stuck on the inside. If you want to stamp it with a tree or do some kind of punch out or whatever you wish, you can, but that's just going to stick on the inside like that. Now with our offcut piece of paper, we need to leave room to stamp a tree and also the sentiments and the little base of the tree, the little pot for the tree. So I'm going to need these 3 stamps. I'm going to pop this back in here. So let's do my tree first. So if I stick my tree on my clear block and stamp it in Night of Navy. I've actually pressed quite hard, which means that it's actually caught in the middle of the circles, but it doesn't matter because I'm actually going to heat emboss over the top of that, so you won't see that because the heat embossing will hide that. So I'll just take that one off and pop that away and lay this one down. Now I need my Versamark, which is here. So I'm going to ink up my baubles, get my Christmas tree and try and get over the top, and before you actually press it down, just make sure that your baubles are in the right place. Press it down and now sprinkle silver embossing powder. In fact, before I do that, let me just do the other part. Let's do the little base for my tree at the same time, because I'm going to do the heat embossing on that too. So I'm just going to put the base of my tree I'm going to put my base of my tree away because this could be easily lost. Now I'm going to sprinkle silver on my tree and on the pot. If you could see the tiny little workspace that I'm working in, you'd understand why I'm reaching across and just getting myself in a muddle. Right, turn on your heat tool. Leave your heat tool on for about 20 or 30 seconds before using it, just to get it warm. I've just got mine warming up, and then once it's warm, just gently stay in one place until it takes. Don't move it along. What a lot of people do is they waft it about and just move the heat around, and you just don't give it a chance to get it heat set. But that's how quick, and it doesn't take very long at all. So I'm now going to use my tree punch to punch out my Christmas tree. Make sure when you stamp the tree that you do it near the base of a piece of card, otherwise you're not going to be able to get your card stuck in. You're going to have to trim off a piece. You're going to need to cut the little pot for the tree by hand, but that's quite straightforward because it's just straight cuts. So I'm just going to do that now as we speak. There we go. And then on my whatever's left over of my card, I'm going to stamp my sentiments both in Night of Navy. So I'm going to get them and put them on one clear block. For goodness sake, dog's having a bark fest. Oh. Amy's home from school. Hi, I'm just doing a video. Hello. If I try and get them straight, that might help me. So I'm just lining that up. I'm going to get my Night of Navy ink. Stamp it. And if you want to be really precise, get your trimmer. I clearly don't want to be pretty precise. So I'm just going to cut 2 strips. I'm going to leave my strips a bit long because I'm going to tuck them under my tree. So let's just do this one. I'm going to do the same with a little banner at the end, so I'm just going to trim off a little bit there, just like I did in the previous card on one of the other videos. So create a little banner at the end. Gosh, I've gone a bit close there. I'm going to have to trim that up to even it up. Crikey, use a trimmer, girls, don't do what I did. And now we have the component parts needed. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my tree. And just at this moment, I'm just going to gently put that down. It's going to not want to stick particularly because I haven't pressed it very hard. And then what I'm going to do is add some Tombow on the back of my 2 word sentiment strips. Now it should stick down on the glimmer paper even though it's only a tiny bit of card, because it's just not heavy, so it should be fine. So if I get it in the right place and tuck it underneath, I don't mind it protruding a little bit there, that's all good. And this one, I'm going to tuck that under there like that. Position that, lovely. And I need to put a little dimensional on the back of the little pot for the tree. Now I'm going to cut the little sides of my dimensionals. Don't ever give up on those, they're so useful. And then pop that over the top of the base of the tree. Now I'm going to press my tree down. And the last thing you need to do is get your card pack and get your pretty jewel, which I can't find my pretty jewel. There we go. A glue dot will work perfectly to stick this down, so grab your glue dots. Find where you want it to go on the top. In this case I'm going to go on the bottom here like that, just to show you how slightly different place. And that's it. That's a super simple card, super quick. So I hope you like that one. Thanks for watching.